Hi, am I on the air?
Yep.
Fuck.
Thanks.
We interrupt our program to bring you a special broadcast.
Is this thing on? I said shots to Nick and Dawn. Him on the air radio every Sunday night, man. What up? Red Dragons. Shout out to the boy Nick. I see you, Don. You about to witness the real talk, real talk. Put it in your ear. We reaching for the sky, but we put it in the air. Not a glass jar, but I tell it to you clear. Hammer on the air, we rock. Here's your whip, man. Hammer on the air. Here's this mic here for nothing. My demographic poor dude box office numbers. Weekend review said we #1 getters. Now y'all all here, we're #1 getters. Turn it on, Nick and Dawn. And I'm like, turn it up, what the fuck, We air it out, wear it out, and we winning. Him on the air, follow back, and we trending. You can't tell me what I bet not be. Don't give a FCK about the FCC. I'm the head for the hellas, voice for the voices. Him on the air Sunday night, and I'm off this.
And what is going down, everybody? Welcome back once again. It's another brand new Am I on the Air? I am your humble host, DONMEGA. Welcome to the show. Tonight, it's March the 9th of 2014. It's Season 8, Episode 6. Tonight's episode is AIOTA, Rise of a Podcast. So welcome. Tonight we got a nice quick show. I'm going to run down some big topics that went down. We're going to talk about the MTV Movie Award nominations. We're going to talk about Scarlett Johansson being pregnant. We're going to talk about Chris Evans saying that he might be taking a little break from acting and retiring for a bit. And we're also going to have a brand new movie review of the week, which is going to be the inspiration for tonight's show title. It's 300, Rise of an Empire, your new #1 movie in America. So let's get cracking and jump right into it. I'm going to actually start right off with the movie review. I just want to hit it right out the gate. 300, Rise of an Empire. This movie just came out on Friday, 7 years after the original 300 hit with Gerard Butler. I've been looking forward to this, but I definitely had some hesitations. This movie was supposed to come out in August of 2013, and a couple months before its release, they ended up pushing it back until this release date here in March of 2014. That was quite a big pushback, but they said they wanted to, work on the graphics a little bit more, work on the 3D conversion, and really just distance itself from the summer release dates where it just kind of gets lost in the shuffle. I gotta say, it was a good move. The original 300 came out in March when it was released, and it opened to a whopping $70 million. So that's, nothing wrong with coming out in March instead of April, because a lot of people think in the summertime, April is just that dumping ground of like, oh, here's our leftover crap that we didn't want to put out in May, June, or July. So I think this really worked well for 300. This was a sequel that a lot of people didn't think was going to happen. If you've seen 300, and spoiler alert, it's been 7 years, everybody pretty much dies in 300, so they were like, how the hell would you ever make a sequel to this? Well, they figured it out. Zack Snyder, who of course directed the first one, he stayed on as a writer and an executive producer of this one. He couldn't work on this one because he was making Man of Steel. He was actually originally contracted to do this 300 movie, but they took so long to kind of get greenlit and get going that he ended up moving on to Man of Steel. So then when 300 Rise of an Empire got greenlit, he decided to stay on, executive produce, help write the story, but brought in a new director. The guy that directed it, his name is Noam Murrow, and I've never heard of this guy before, but he did a hell of a job, man, hell of a job. It looks very, very spot on to the first film. The graphics look a little bit sweeter because we've come, quite some ways in the last 7 years. And this guy nailed it, man. He nailed the look. He nailed the slow motion effects that 300 was known for. And he killed it, man. 102 minutes long this movie runs. It is rated R, and it's rated R for a good reason, because it's very violent. There's some nudity. It's got everything going for it. Your main stars are in it. You have Sullivan Stapleton. He's the main character, basically taking over that Gerard Butler role. Eva Green is in it, and she's amazing. I just gotta say, man, does she kick ass in this film. She's basically the main bad guy, or bad woman in this film, and she really just kicks all the guys' asses, and it's one of those roles that it's like everybody wants to be her, or be with her, and she just amazing. Lena Headey returns. She, of course, was Gerard Butler's Leonidas' wife in the first film. She's back. And a lot of other little side characters. Rodrigo Santoro is back. He plays Xerxes. What I really liked about this film was I was wondering where they were going to take it in the timeline, and this movie actually runs simultaneously with the first 300 film. So as it actually goes to cutscenes of Gerard Butler's Leonidas marching with the 300, going to do their stuff, while Sullivan Stapleton is off doing his part of the war. And it's more of the naval side. So this is all the all the boats and everything fighting in the ocean, while the Spartans from the 300 film are up in the mountains doing all the land fights. So I thought it was really, really unique the way that they ran the story, really simultaneously with 300. And you see kind of before 300, you see after 300 with this cast, and you see how Xerxes becomes the god that he is, and it was just a really, really unique story. I saw it in IMAX 3D, and it blew my mind, man. Just visually, it's just beautiful, and especially on an IMAX screen. And I'm not too big on 3D anymore, but I really thought that 3D lended itself a big plus to this film. It just really made the film pop. All the colors popped, the blood, the rain. I mean, it accentuated almost every scene in the film. So I would recommend doing this movie in 300 if you in 300 in 3D if you can go see it. In the end result, when it comes to the star scale, I had to give this film 4 out of 5. 4 out of 5 stars for me. I thought it was really, really awesome, and it definitely leaves the door open, I feel, to a sequel. So they made it a little bit more open-ended than the first 300 film did, and if we can make a sequel to the first 300, there's no reason we can't continue this story on to a third film. And, I was really curious to see how it did box office-wise this weekend, and it killed it. It didn't do as good as 300, but it did very, very well, and it is the number one movie in America right now, and it's actually the number one movie internationally as well. It's done even better internationally, so this is a huge hit already, yeah, Legendary Pictures, Warner Brothers, really killing it with this. So congratulations to everybody involved. I'm sure we'll see another film down the pipeline. But I definitely highly recommend you go check out 300 Rise of an Empire. 4 out of 5 stars for me. Alrighty. Let's move on over to the MTV Movie Award nominations. This was released, last week's show. We talked about the Oscars, and now we'll move on to the MTV type Oscars. I used to really, really love the MTV Movie Awards, because what I liked about them was that they included all the popcorn films. They included all the stuff that we really enjoyed, the big box office hits of the year, whereas the Oscars and the Golden Globes and all that stuff really they shun all the big, blockbuster films. I kind of got out of the MTV Movie Awards for the last several years, because it was like, it got so overrun with like Twilight and all that kind of stuff. Twilight was winning Best Picture, and Robert Pattinson Best Actor, and Kristen Stewart Best Actress, and it's like, get the fuck out of here. No, it's not. But the Twilight films are over now. We're going to kind of get a little bit better, and they've actually tightened up what they're nominating this year, so I was pretty impressed. So let's run down the nominations, and I'll give you some predictions for what I feel should win out of what they have. For Movie of the Year, their nominations are 12 Years a Slave, American Hustle, The Hobbit, Desolation of Smaug, The Hunger Games, Catching Fire, and The Wolf of Wall Street. So out of those, I would actually go with The Wolf of Wall Street. If not that, I'd probably then go with The Hunger Games, Catching Fire. Best Female Performance, nominees are Amy Adams for American Hustle, Jennifer Aniston, We're the Millers, Sandra Bullock for Gravity, Jennifer Lawrence, The Hunger Games Catching Fire, and Lupita Nyong'o for 12 Years a Slave. Out of this list, I would go Amy Adams for American Hustle, but I loved Jennifer Aniston in We're the Millers, love Sandra Bullock in Gravity, and I love Jennifer Lawrence in The Hunger Games, so any of these would be just fine with me. Best Male Performance, Bradley Cooper for American Hustle, Leonardo DiCaprio for Wolf of Wall Street, Chiwetel Ejiofor for 12 Years a Slave, Josh Hutcherson for The Hunger Games Catching Fire, and Matthew McConaughey for Dallas Buyers Club. I would actually go with Matthew McConaughey for Dallas Buyers Club on this one. Breakthrough Performance, nominees are Liam James for The Way, Way Back, Michael B. Jordan for Fruitvale Station, Will Poulter for We're the Millers, Margot Robbie for The Wolf of Wall Street, and Miles Teller for The Spectacular Now. Another lineup that's just great. Everybody in this category is awesome. Will Poulter really stole the show in We're the Millers for sure. Margot Robbie really almost stole the show in Wolf of Wall Street because she's beautiful and she got naked. Actually, I want to spin off side note real quick since I'm talking about a beautiful woman getting naked. Going back to 300, Rise of an Empire, and this is going to be for all the guys that listen to the show, and forgive me to the women that listen to the show. I'm not trying to be, crude or rude at this point, but there was a sex scene in 300, Rise of an Empire with Eva Green and the main actor in the film. And I just have to say, I thought it was one of the best sex scenes I've seen in a major theatrical film in a long, long, long time. I like me some Eva Green now. So I just want to throw that out there, and that might make you, that should have made it a 5-star movie at that point, but pretty nice. I forgot to mention that in my review, so sorry for spinning off into a little side tangent, but yeah, I just want to throw that out there. Anyways, Breakthrough Performance. I'm going to actually go with Michael B. Jordan on this. I just saw Fruitvale Station a couple weeks ago, and I loved it, and he's awesome, and he's going to be a very big up-and-comer star here in the next several years. He just got cast as the Human Torch in the Fantastic Four reboot. He was in Chronicle. He was just in that movie, The Awkward Moment, that just came out. His star is shining. Best Kiss, Jennifer Lawrence and Amy Adams in American Hustle, Joseph Gordon-Levitt and Scarlett Johansson in Don John, James Franco, Ashley Benson and Vanessa Hudgens in Spring Breakers, Shailene Woodley and Miles Teller in The Spectacular Now, and Emma Roberts, Jennifer Aniston, and Will Poulter for We're the Millers. Oh man, there's some good ones on here. I love the We're the Millers kiss. I love the Spring Breakers kiss, and I love the Don John kiss. So this is hard. If I had to pick one, I'd probably go with the We're the Millers kiss. That was so funny with them teaching him how to kiss and it going back and forth, and then having the girl that he liked walk in and see him basically kissing his mom and sister. So awesome stuff. Best fight. Anchorman 2, it actually has all the people listed that were in the fight, and I don't want to read all the people involved because this was a big spoiler for Anchorman 2 and one of the best moments of the movie, so I don't really want to spoil it. It comes out on Blu-ray and DVD in less than a month, so I'm going to hold back, but there's a big fight in Anchorman 2 and it is nominated. Identity Thief, Jason Bateman versus Melissa McCarthy, The Desolation of Smaug for The Hobbit, Orlando Bloom and Evangeline Lilly versus the Orcs, The Hunger Games Catching Fire, Jennifer Lawrence, Josh Hutcherson, and Sam Claflin against the Mutant Monkeys, and This Is the End, Jonah Hill versus James Franco and Seth Rogen. This is another category that's just really loaded, but I'm going to have to go with the fight from Anchorman 2, and although I can't tell you who's nominated in this, I mean, you could read it if you want to, just look up MTV Movie Award nominations, but this is a big spoiler, so I just can't get into it, but that fight was definitely the shit, so I'm going to go with that, Anchorman 2. Best Comedic Performance, Kevin Hart for Ride Along, Jonah Hill, The Wolf of Wall Street, Johnny Knoxville, Jackass Presents Bad Grandpa, Melissa McCarthy in The Heat, and Jason Sudeikis in We're the Millers. Fuck. I love every single one of these movies. If I have to pick one, God, man, it's hard to go against Johnny Knoxville and Bad Grandpa. He was so good. But I'm going to actually go with Kevin Hart and Ride Along. Dude just cracked me up. Best Scared as Shit Performance, Rose Byrne in Insidious Chapter 2, Jessica Chastain in Mama, Vera Farmiga in The Conjuring, Ethan Hawke in The Purge, and Brad Pitt in World War Z. I'm going to have to go with Jessica Chastain in Mama for that one. Best on-screen duo, Amy Adams and Christian Bale in American Hustle, Matthew McConaughey and Jared Leto in Dallas Buyers Club, Vin Diesel and Paul Walker in Fast and Furious 6, Ice Cube and Kevin Hart in Ride Along, and Jonah Hill and Leonardo DiCaprio for The Wolf of Wall Street. I gotta go Vin Diesel and Paul Walker for Fast 6, and I will be very shocked if this does not win the award, obviously due to, this is fan voting, and with Paul Walker's passing, I don't see how they could lose this, but I think they're definitely the best on-screen duo, and I'm very saddened that we're not going to get that to its fullest extent in the next film. We definitely miss you, Mr. Walker. So Vin and Paul for me in Fast 6. Best shirtless performance. Jennifer Aniston in We're the Millers, Sam Claflin in The Hunger Games Catching Fire, Leo for The Wolf of Wall Street, Zac Efron in That Awkward Moment, and Chris Hemsworth for Thor The Dark World. Well, since she's the only chick on here, I'm going to have to go with Jennifer Aniston for We're the Millers. Nothing against the dudes, but I got to roll with Jennifer Lawrence. Hashtag WTF moment. Steve Carell, Will Ferrell, Paul Rudd, and David Koechner for Anchorman 2. The Channel 4 news team's afternoon is no longer a delight as a speeding fan filled with bowling balls, scorpions, and hot oil takes a tumble down the highway. Johnny Knoxville and Jackson Nickel for Bad Grandpa for the beauty pageant scene. Cameron Diaz and The Counselor for having sex on a car. Leo for his when he takes his Lamborghini for a spin, and Danny McBride and Channing Tatum in This Is the End, when Danny McBride shows an apocalyptic world and uncomfortable theatergoers everywhere that there's no better pet than a scantily clad Channing Tatum. Wow, these are all great WTF moments. Cameron Diaz on the car is one of the only good things about The Counselor. Leo driving the Lamborghini cracked me up. This Is the End was really funny and a great cameo by Channing Tatum. The beauty pageant scene in Bad Grandpa was probably the best scene in the entire movie. And the Anchorman news van flipping with all the stuff inside of it was pretty damn hilarious. Wow. I'll take any of these, honestly. They're all great. But if I had to pick one, I'll probably go with Anchorman 2. Best villain. Barkhad Abdi for Captain Phillips. Look at me. Look at me. I'm the captain now. Benedict Cumberbatch for Star Trek Into Darkness. Michael Fassbender for 12 Years a Slave. Mila Kunis for Oz the Great and Powerful. And Donald Sutherland in The Hunger Games Catching Fire. Best villain, I would have to go with Benedict Cumberbatch for Star Trek Into Darkness on that. Best on-screen transformation. Christian Bale in American Hustle, Elizabeth Banks in the Hunger Games Catching Fire, Orlando Bloom in The Hobbit, Desolation of Smaug, Jared Leto, Dallas Buyers Club, and Matthew McConaughey, Dallas Buyers Club. I'm going to actually go with Matthew McConaughey on this. I mean, dude lost like 60 pounds to do that role, so I am going with Matthew McConaughey. Best musical moment. Backstreet Boys, Jay Baruchel, Steph Rogen, and Craig Robinson, and This Is the End. When they do Everybody Up in Heaven. Jennifer Lawrence in American Hustle. Leonardo in The Wolf of Wall Street when he pop locks it to Bo Diddley's Pretty Thing. Melissa McCarthy in Identity Thief when she sings Barracuda. And Will Porter for We're the Millers when he sings TLC's Waterfalls. Damn, man. I love the Waterfalls moment, but if I had to pick one that was the best musical moment, it's got to be the Backstreet Boys, and This Is the End. That was just classic. Best cameo performance. Robert De Niro in American Hustle, Amy Poehler and Tina Fey in Anchorman 2, Kanye West in Anchorman 2, Joan Rivers in Iron Man 3, and Rihanna in This Is the End. I'm going to probably go with Robert De Niro in American Hustle just because I had no clue he was even in the movie. So that was a good kept cameo. And last but not least, Best Hero. Henry Cavill as Clark Kent in Man of Steel. Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man in Iron Man 3. Martin Freeman as Bilbo Baggins in The Hobbit. Chris Hemsworth as Thor. And Channing Tatum as John Cale in White House Down. So, great category. I love Chris Hemsworth as Thor. I love Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man. But you know what? I'm going to actually go with Henry Cavill as Clark Kent / Superman in Man of Steel. Man of Steel is my favorite movie of the year last year. And for Best Hero, he's going to take it from me. And that'll do it, ladies and gentlemen. That's the MTV Movie Award nominations coming up here very, very soon on MTV. Now, let's run through the rest of the news of the week. Right after the Oscars aired and after we got done with last week's show, Matthew McConaughey did an interview and he said he will not be returning to True Detective Season 2. So a lot of people very sad about that news. True Detective is actually on its season finale right now on HBO and tonight, and I'm really into it. I'm waiting to see the finale and see how it plays out. But from the rumors I've heard, they're going to continue doing True Detective, but it seems like a show that I think what they want to do is every season, it'll be 2 new stars or new main people. So it's not going to always follow the same kind of concept, which that would make sense why Matthew McConaughey would not be returning. Oh, and another thing that I was thinking of too, what if Matthew McConaughey dies on the finale, right? Then he would definitely not be returning for Season 2. So, regardless of the fact he is a producer on the show, it's nothing because of beef or anything. He said he loves the show, he's going to continue to produce it, but he just, he won't be an on-screen character in Season 2. Let's see here. I forget let me see what his full name is. Thomas Kretschmann. He's actually in theaters right now in the movie Stalingrad. He plays Baron Wolfgang von Strucker in Avengers 2, and he came out in an interview and said that he has signed a multiple film deal with Marvel that moves him past Avengers 2. So there are plans to keep that character going. Speaking of Oscars again, in memorandum, definitely snubbed a couple people. They left out Corey Monteith, James Avery, Tom Clancy, and then there was a couple other ones too that I don't understand why they were left out, but I guess it happens from time to time. All right, so we were talking about going back to Avengers 2. Word came out, and congratulations, that Scarlett Johansson is pregnant with her first child. So very, very big congratulations. I love hearing news like this. I have a 3-month-old daughter myself, and in my real life job, 2 people on my team just within the last couple days announced that they're pregnant. So I mean, it is definitely babies in the air, and Scarlett Johansson now added to that list. She is 5 months along, so they're already filming Avengers 2, and from what we're hearing now, it looks like Joss Whedon's going to actually bump up all of her filming, and they're going to try to bang out all of her scenes within the next couple weeks. They want to just get her filmed and out, so she doesn't have to mess with anything anymore, and obviously before she gets too big and we can't be in the Black Widow costume anymore. So, it is going to cause a little bit of a ruckus for the Avengers team to be filming. But they said it's not going to really mess too much with production. They're just kind of shifting the schedule around a little bit, and they're going to get all of her scenes done and out the way. So, very cool on Marvel to go ahead and rearrange on behalf of Scarlett Johansson. So, I don't know what it is with these girls getting pregnant during superhero movies. We went through this last year when they were filming X-Men Days of Future Past, and Halle Berry came out saying she was pregnant, and they ended up having to cut down her scenes and film her from the, chest up and stuff like that. So, stop getting pregnant when you're in a comic book movie. Come on, people, just, wait a little bit. Come on. Bryan Singer has been brought in to direct Vince Gilligan's Battle Creek. Battle Creek is going to be a new TV show pilot that's going to be coming out later in the year. So Bryan Singer has been tapped to direct the pilot for that. In pretty cool news, Jurassic World has signed on Vincent D'Onofrio to play the villain of the film. So very, very cool. Chris Pratt is going to be the main star on the good guy side. And I love Vincent D'Onofrio. I think he always plays a great bad guy. So very cool addition to Jurassic World. I want to take a side note, kind of... I haven't really talked about this when I shout out stuff at the end of the show. But I want to let you all know that... pretty much this entire season of Am I on the Air, I started putting the episodes on YouTube. So, pretty much a day or two after we air them here live on Red Dragons Radio and AmIOnTheAir.com, I end up posting it on YouTube. And because some people, it's just easier access for them to get to YouTube or stream it on some mobile device or something. So, and it's helped us get a couple new followers and listeners. So I just wanted to let you know that we are on YouTube. You can go ahead and subscribe to our page at Am I on the Air BTR. That's how you can find us on YouTube. And please give us a subscribe, and just even if you don't watch us on the YouTube channel, you can go ahead and subscribe and just hook it up. So just wanted to shout that out on a little side note. Warner Brothers has announced that the Batman Arkham Knight video game is coming later in 2014, and I gotta say, I watched the trailer to this, and it's amazing. It's going to be only on next-gen consoles, so it's going to be on PS4, it's going to be on the Xbox One, and it'll be on PC. It looks amazing. It pretty much was like I was watching a movie. I couldn't believe how beautiful this game looked. So, Batman Arkham Knight, and this is supposedly the last game in the Arkham series. Fox's Batman prequel Gotham has cast its young Bruce Wayne and Catwoman. The young Bruce Wayne is the kid that was in that TV show Touch with Kiefer Sutherland that was only on for like a season or two on Fox. So he's going to be the young Bruce Wayne. I just don't know about this Gotham show. I don't know how you can have a show based around Gotham and its villains with no Batman. I don't know. I'm going to reserve judgment, and I'm going to hope for the best, but I can't just... But, one show that's definitely doing it right is Arrow. And I gotta tell you guys, if you have not watched Arrow yet and you're into like comic book stuff, I don't know what you're waiting for. Arrow is on the CW, it's on Wednesday nights, and it is the best show on television right now. Arrow is consistently good every single week, always putting out quality episodes that get better and better and better. Once again, if you haven't seen this, I highly urge you to get on the train. Season 1 is on Netflix, so no excuse. Go stream, bang it out. I bet you'll love it. Jump into Season 2 and just follow along, man. It is so good, and not enough people watch the show and support it. So I just want to really shout it out again and let you know that Arrow, which is the TV show around the superhero Green Arrow, is amazing. Deathstroke is on it right now, and he's so good. And it just, man, I love it. I love it. Next new episode comes on March 19th. They're taking a little bit of a break this week, and then they'll be back the following week. Another show that's really cranking it up lately is Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. This show was very kind of blah for the first maybe even 5 episodes, and then they started picking up, and it's been getting better and better too lately. And this week's episode is going to have a nice crossover with Thor. Lorelei from the Thor universe has crossed over, and Lady Sif herself, Jamie Alexander, who is Sif in the 2 Thor movies, she's going to actually be having a guest starring role on this week's episode as she comes to Earth to pick up and bring Lorelei back to Asgard. So very cool stuff going on in the comic book world when it comes to the TV shows. Dancing with the Stars has set its season 18 cast. Yep, it's season 18 cast. Can you believe it? That is a lot of damn people. So what do we have here? The couples of Dancing with the Stars 18th season is Amy Purdy with Derek Huff, Billy D. Williams with Emma Slater, Candace Cameron Burr with Mark Ballas, Charlie White with Sharna Burgess, Cody Simpson with Whitney Carson, Danica McKellar with Valentin Chermontsky, Diana Nyed with Henry Balakiv, Drew Carey with Cheryl Burke, James Maslow with Peta Murgatroyd, Meryl Davis with Maxim, Nene Leakes with Tony Dovolani, and Sean Avery with Karina Smirnoff. Yeah, this seems like a pretty weak-ass season of Dancing with the Stars, but I don't watch the show. I just here to provide you the news and let you know what's coming up. Mila Kunis is going to be starring on Ashton Kutcher's 2.5 Men. She's going to have a little cameo role coming up here, so that'll be pretty cool. We have a new Everything Wrong With, and in the spirit of 300 Rise of an Empire hitting theaters this week, our Everything Wrong With, of course, is 300 in 10 minutes or less. I was so excited about this. We finally got the Transformers Age of Extinction trailer. I was so excited. Now, all we've had was the Super Bowl spot. And then, finally, we had the first teaser trailer released, 2.5 minutes long. showing us kind of the story with a broken down Optimus coming to Mark Wahlberg's shop, and he's working on it, and he figures out he has a Transformer, and the government's coming, and they're looking for Optimus, and basically all the Autobots and Decepticons, like everybody hates Transformers now, and the humans can't stand them, and there's like all this drama going on, and it's really hard to grasp what exactly is all the full story here, but it looks intense, and I gotta say, man, I'm so stoked on this. The trailer ends with Optimus basically bitch-slapping Grimlock, and I was just wowed by this trailer. I watched it about 50 times already. I can't wait for this movie. It comes out June 27th. It cannot come soon enough. Mark Wahlberg looks like a great lead for this. All the Transformers look great. The graphics are amazing. I think we're going to get Galvatron. They're going all out here. You know, for as much as people want to rip on the last two Transformers films, now I love all three of them, but a lot of people rip on the last couple of them. I think Michael Bay is taking a great turn here in the system by, you know, having a whole brand new cast, but continuing the story 4 years down the road after Part 3 in Chicago. And it looks darker. It doesn't look like it's going to be really silly. It doesn't look like they're trying to pump in all this extra humor. It just looks like a straight-up badass action movie. And that's what we need in a Transformers film. And this looks so good. So if you haven't seen it, head over, check out the link on our Twitter page and our Facebook page. It's right there for your viewing pleasure. Check it out. Moving along, Arnold Schwarzenegger has read the new Terminator script, and he is quoted as saying, "It's fantastic. It's fantastic." So that's very, very cool. I'm stoked that he's stoked on it. You know, they're not giving out too many details. One of the rumors coming out is that basically what this movie's going to do is going to kind of time jump between the events of the first two Terminator films, just with the new cast and everything, and then Arnold, of course, will be in there. I'm excited for it. Terminator Genesis is going to be very interesting, but I'm very stoked to hear Schwarzenegger say he thinks the script is fantastic. Chris Evans came out this week and says that he's going to be taking a break from acting after his Marvel contract is up. This has led to a lot of speculation. I've heard so many reports of people saying like, well, then after Avengers 2 he's done. I guess they're going to kill him off in Winter Soldier. They're going to kill him off in Avengers 2. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. He said, I'm taking a break after my Marvel contract is up. He signed at least a 6-picture deal with Marvel when he took on Captain America. So let's count it. We got the first Avenger, Captain America. The first Avengers. Captain America the Winter Soldier was 3. Avengers 2, 4. Captain America 3, 5. And Avengers 3, 6. There's your 6 films. I don't know why everybody's thinking that he's just going to be done. He's filming Avengers 2 right now, so for all the people that say he's not even going to be in Avengers 2, that's stupid. And to think that he's not going to come back for Captain America 3 when they've already greenlit the film and already said it's coming and it'll probably definitely be part of Phase 3 is just stupid. He's going to fulfill his Marvel contract, and we know it was for at least 6 films, if not more. You know, Marvel was smart. They locked up these guys for big, big contracts. They're not going to let them just walk away after 3 films. You know, so I don't think we have anything to worry about. He's going to be around for a bit, you know, and he just wants to take a break. He's got the directing bug, and he wants to go direct some stuff. So hey, more power to you, man. You know, I love Chris Evans, and I think, you know, he's done great as Captain America. And Winter Soldier is one of my most anticipated films of the year, and I think we're going to be all right, though, in the Marvel Universe. You know, we still got Avengers 2, Captain America 3, and Avengers 3. He's not going anywhere. Mark my words. And, you know, if after Avengers 3 he wants to take a little break and they can maybe have Bucky or something take over as Cap for another movie, or maybe just skip Cap for Phase 4 or whatever, because we got many other characters we can get into, I think it's going to be all right. The Hobbit Desolation of Smaug is going to hit Blu-ray and DVD in April. It is now official. We talked about this being a rumor, but it's now official that Patrick Hughes is going to be directing the Raid remake, the U.S. Raid remake. Back to the MTV Movie Awards, it was announced that Conan O'Brien is going to actually take over hosting duties, so congratulations to Conan. Michael Bay is going to be producing a remake of The Birds. So yeah, The Birds is, that old horror type movie, but he's going to be producing a remake of that. Lindsay Lohan is going to be guest starring on Two Broke Girls, and she also said on Jimmy Fallon the other night that they might be doing a Mean Girls reunion, something either on like an award show or on a late night talk show. But she said Tina Fey's trying to hook it all up and get everybody together, and so far it looks like everybody's in. So that'll be very, very interesting to see. I'm down for Mean Girls. Why not? Right? Why not? Mary Louise Parker is coming back to TV. She's going to star in the new NBC comedy Feed Me. Leah Remini is going to star in TLC's new documentary series that's going to follow her in her real life. Kind of interested about this. I love Leah Remini in King and Queens. She was so good with Kevin James. She was on that show The Talk for a little bit, and then she did Dancing with the Stars, and then her life's been very high profile since she left the Church of Scientology, so I think that's where this TLC documentary kind of comes into play, so I might have to check that out. JWoww, who you all know from the Jersey Shore, she's going to executive produce a new horror comedy film called Jersey Shore Massacre. Patricia Arquette is going to star in a CBS CSI spinoff. MasterChef Junior gets an early Season 3 renewal. We haven't even seen Season 2 yet, and Fox has already renewed it for Season 3. The Legend of Hercules, the movie that came out in January, that completely bombed. Didn't even last in theaters for like 2 weeks. That comes out on DVD and Blu-ray on April 29th, if you're interested. I want to run down this story about Andrew Garfield and the Oscars. A lot of people were saying, Andrew Garfield was supposed to be at the Oscars last week. And he was. He was signed to be on, and he was going to introduce the Heroes panel, which was the thing Chris Evans ended up doing at the Oscars. And then it came out, and it said that he was supposed to present this hero thing with the kid from the Bat Kid thing that they did a couple months back with the Make-A-Wish Foundation. Then an article came out that said Andrew Garfield refused to present with Bat Kid, and that they did dress rehearsal, and Andrew Garfield didn't like the script, so he trashed it. Then he rewrote his own script, and then the Oscars people said, nope, we don't like your script, so we're not going to let you do it. And he said, fine, if you're not going to let me do it, then I'm not doing this skit. And he just bounced and basically left them high and dry, and they ended up calling in Chris Evans, and he came in and he took care of it. Later on in the day, after we found out that news, which I was very bummed to hear about when I first heard the story, because I like Andrew Garfield, and I'm like, man, you can't play Spider-Man and then go ditching Bat Kid at the Oscars. Come on now. But the true story came out from people at the Oscars, people that were there and witnessed it. Andrew Garfield did no such thing. The Oscars said they ended up having to cut the segment just due to time restraints, and they said it just didn't fit in with the flow of the rest of the show. What they ended up doing is they ended up sending Bat Kid to Disneyland, all expenses paid, with his family, and Andrew Garfield, being cool enough like he is, he went to Disneyland with the family and hung out with Bat Kid all day. So pretty cool. Sad that Andrew Garfield's name kind of got trashed in the mud there for a little bit, but I'm very happy to hear the true story and hear how good it is in the end result. So very cool of him. I'm very stoked on this news. The Kroll Show has been renewed for a third season over at Comedy Central. Very happy about this. I tweeted out this news the other day and got my tweet favorited by Mr. Nick Kroll himself. So, very, very cool. I love The Kroll Show. If you like sketch comedy and you haven't seen it yet, I highly recommend you check it out. It is on Comedy Central. Congratulations, Nick Kroll, getting Season 3. We finally got the first trailer for Sin City, A Dame to Kill For, so that's on the Facebook and Twitter page. I thought it was okay. I wasn't a big fan of the first Sin City movie, so I'm not a good judge on this. But this trailer was kind of just, It didn't do anything to wow me into wanting to go see Sin City, A Dame to Kill For. We also have the first teaser trailer for Paddington, starring Nicole Kidman and Colin Firth. That's, of course, based on Paddington Bear. We also have the first trailer for Annie. Yes, Annie is the remake, starring Jamie Foxx and Cameron Diaz. And, it actually looks okay. For a remake, it looks pretty spot on with what they're trying to do. We also have a very cool 4-minute preview trailer of Captain America the Winter Soldier. So if you're looking to get your hands on some of the latest and greatest of Captain America, I highly recommend you go check out this extended 4-minute preview trailer. It actually shows a brand new scene that we haven't seen before and then goes into a new trailer kind of spliced in at the end. We also have Everything Wrong with Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull in about 13 minutes or more. So there's a lot that goes wrong with Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, so you got to check that out. Spider-Man vet Sam Raimi is going to produce a feature film version of The Last of Us for Screen Gems. This is pretty damn cool. Last of Us is a video game that was one of the best reviewed games of all time, one of the highest selling video games of last year, and this is a game that a lot of people were saying, man, this needs to be a movie, So with Sam Raimi on as a producer, this is definitely heading in the right direction so far. I hope to get a good cast and a good director, but I'm liking the start of this for The Last of Us. Ground Floor has been renewed for season 2 by TBS. I like Ground Floor. It was actually a pretty charming little show. So I liked it, and I'm glad to see it come back. I didn't love it, and I wouldn't be heartbroken if it got, if it didn't get renewed. But I'm very happy that TBS has given it a second shot, which I wish they would have given Wedding Singer, Wedding Planner, whatever the show was of Brian Austin Green, where he was the wedding singer. I wish they would have given that show another shot because that show was awesome. Will Forte says he still wants to make a MacGruber 2, and he's still looking at like Kickstarter options and stuff like that. MacGruber was pretty funny. I mean, the movie was pretty damn silly and cheesy, but that's what it was meant to be because that's what that skit is. So, yeah, I don't know if it'll ever happen, but he definitely wants to make another one. Michael B. Jordan, we have an article here. I'm not going to get into it, but if you would like to read it, the article is on the Facebook and Twitter page. Michael B. Jordan has commented on some of the Fantastic Four criticisms, because of course he's getting a lot, because a lot of people don't like that the Human Torch is going to be black. But yeah, if you want to see what he said, go ahead and check out the article. Donald Glover is not returning to Community. His episode last week was his last one. Has ordered its first scripted series from the One Tree Hill creators. The show is going to be called The Royals. So look at E getting into the scripted series world. What else do we got here? And some music news and some sad news for all you U2 fans out there. U2 was trying to get a new album out this year. You could tell they were busting their butt on it. They were singing at the Oscars, and they were singing at this and that award show, and they've been popping up a lot lately, but they came out the other day and they said that there will be no album and no tour until 2015. So for fans of U2, you gotta have to give it just about a little bit of, just a little over a year before you get what you need there. And this is some exciting news. Let me pull this up here because the link's not working. Of course. Live radio, my friends. Live radio. So let's see what we got here. Sure, it's stupid news, but it's funny, so I gotta deliver it because this was the breakout. God damn, what the hell's going on here? I hope we're not having trouble now with the internet. I think that's what exactly is happening. Alright, so it looks like the internet's lagging on me here, which is great. Once again, welcome to live radio. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Alright, let's see what we got here. Alright, sorry about that. Internet started lagging on me here, and I definitely need my internet to get through this stuff. Alright, so what I was trying to find was Sci-Fi Channel has announced that yes, Sharknado 2, the second one, will make its television debut on July 31st. So that's the big breaking news, ladies and gentlemen. Sharknado 2, and yes, it is called the second one, will premiere on Thursday, July 31st at 9 p.m. Pacific time. Just barely over a year after the first film aired. First film ended up being a ginormous social hit and a big hit for the Sci-Fi Channel. You can actually watch it on Netflix. if you haven't seen it yet. So I actually have not seen Sharknado yet. It is in my Netflix queue. I just haven't gotten around to it, but I'm definitely got to check it out, and I got to check out Sharknado 2, the second one, when it makes its debut on July 31st. Keeping it going here, FX has renewed Archer for 2 more seasons. Kim Soo-hyun has joined the Avengers 2 in what they call a substantial supporting role. Marvel will not explain who she is, who she's playing, or anything. They just said she is in a substantial supporting role. I'm not familiar with her work. I didn't even really know who she was based off her name. But hey, she's got to be somebody pretty interesting if they're trying to hide it. Very happy with most of this news. Fox has announced that they have renewed New Girl, The Mindy Project, Brooklyn Nine-Nine, and The Following for their next seasons. So very, very happy with that. I love New Girl, I love Brooklyn Nine-Nine, and I like The Following. Mindy Project, I don't understand. That show doesn't do very well at all, and I don't get how it keeps getting renewed. But man, Brooklyn Nine-Nine is my second favorite comedy on television right now, behind the Goldbergs, and New Girl is one of my all-time favorites as well. So very happy that Fox has renewed these quickly. Now I just need Fox to hurry up and renew Almost Human. Please, Fox, what are you doing? I want Almost Human renewed. I love Almost Human. That show just had its season finale last Monday, and I want a second season. And it's making me a little bit worried that they renewed all these other shows, but they're not talking about that. So, fingers crossed. We have a new Honest trailer, and this is in the spirit of The Hunger Games Catching Fire being released just a couple days ago on Blu-ray and DVD. So our Honest trailer of the week is The Hunger Games Catching Fire, and it's awesome. We have another new trailer. It's called Deliver Us from Evil. It stars Eric Bana and Olivia Munn. It's a horror movie. In some sad news, Scott Calvert, he's the director of the Basketball Diaries. He has passed away at the age of 49, so our prayers and thoughts are with you. We also posted a very cool Q&A video on our Facebook and Twitter page from AMC. The AMC crew does a movie show, and they were lucky enough to get, Chris Pratt, director James Gunn, and Kevin Feige, the head of Marvel Studios, to come into the studio and do a quick little half-hour Q&A special all about Guardians of the Galaxy. This just went down last night over at AMC, and it was pretty cool. I checked it out, and it was a fun little time. I wish it would have went longer. I wish we would have found out a little bit more about the film. I don't feel you really got too much extra out of it than what I already knew about the film, but it is pretty interesting to see Chris Pratt, James Gunn, and Kevin Feige sit down and talk about this project. So if you'd like to check that out, it is from AMC Movie News, AMC Theaters. Their sit-down interview with those three guys talking Guardians of the Galaxy. In some pretty shitty news, and there's no shocker here, Charlie Sheen was supposed to record a new episode of Anger Management the other day, and he no-showed the recording. Yep, he no-showed, which then delayed production on Anger Management. His cast and crew were very pissed off, and no word from Charlie as of yet on this. But, man, come on, Charlie, get your shit together, dude. You got this show, you got this money rolling in, and you no-show it? People trying to make a living off this stuff, man. It is just sad. And with that crappy news from Charlie Sheen, that wraps up our news of the week, my friends. We have a lot of new posters and stuff on the Facebook page, so I highly recommend, once again, that you go check out our Facebook page. It's over at facebook.com/amiontheair. You can see a new Winter Soldier poster, new Transformers posters. We have movie poster albums on the website. We have a Marvel album up on there. There's a lot of cool photo galleries on our Facebook page that you definitely got to check out. There's several new Transformers posters, so go check that out over on the Facebook page. All right, let's skip on over to music, and let's go with our top albums of the week. Coming in number 10 is Beyonce with her self-titled album Beyonce. Number 9 is Now 49. Number 8 is The Fray with Helios. Number 7 is Eric Church with The Outsiders. Number 6 is Dierks Bentley with Riser. Number 5 is Romeo Santos Migos with Formula Volume 2. Number 4 is Kid Cudi presents Satellite Flight, The Journey to Mother Moon by Kid Cudi. Number 3 is Beck with Morning Phase. Number 2 is the Frozen soundtrack. And your number 1 album is Oxymoron by Schoolboy Q. I'm becoming very disconnected with the music world lately, I feel, because I have no clue who the hell Schoolboy Q is, but he's got the number 1 album, and that's pretty sad. I think it's one of the first times in my life that I haven't known the number 1 artist or album ever. I tried to stay up on this stuff, and I'm like, who? Schoolboy Q? Alright. Moving on over to the singles, number 10 is Timber by Pitbull featuring Kesha. Number 9 is A Great Big World and Christina Aguilera with Say Something. Number 8 is One Republic with Counting Stars. Number 7 is Drunken Love by Beyonce featuring Jay-Z. Number 6 is Lorde with Team. Number 5 is Bastille with Pompeii. Number 4 is John Legend with All of Me. Number 3 is Jason Derulo featuring 2 Chainz with Talk Dirty to Me. Talk Dirty to Me. Number 2 is Dark Horse with Katy Perry featuring Juicy J. And the number 1 song, once again, and I don't know why, but it's Pharrell Williams with Happy. I don't understand it. The song came out with Despicable Me 2 like a year ago. Like, why is this the number 1 song right now? I don't know. Anyways, let's move on over to the movie charts and wrap this baby up with a tight bow. On DVD and Blu-ray this Tuesday is Homefront, Out of the Furnace, The Book Thief, and Inside Llewyn Davis. In theaters on Friday is Need for Speed and Veronica Mars. And here's your box office. And one thing I want to say in theaters on Friday, Need for Speed. A very cool thing I found out about Need for Speed is that the film is 100% practical stunts. There is absolutely no CGI on any of this film. All those car crashes, stunts, everything are done with real cars in real time. No CGI. That's pretty damn impressive. As much as I love the Fast and Furious franchise, a lot of that stuff is CGI. So the fact that they did this all with practical stunts is amazing and has made me want to see this movie even more. Alright. Box office time. Coming in number 10, it's Ride Along with $2 million. Number 9 is 12 Years a Slave with $2.2 million. Number 8 is Frozen with $3 million. Number 7 is 3 Days to Kill with $3.1 million. Number 6 is The Monuments Men with $3.1 million. Number 5 is Son of God with $10 million. Number 4 is The Lego Movie with $11 million. Number 3 was last week's number 1 movie, Nonstop, with $15.4 million. Number 2 is Mr. Peabody and Sherman with $32.5 million. That's a nice debut. That is it is its first week in theaters, Mr. Peabody and Sherman, and $32 million is a nice debut there for DreamWorks Animation. So congratulations to them. And your number 1 film, no shocker here, because I told you already at the beginning of the show, 300, Rise of an Empire, number 1 with $45.1 million. And you want to know something even more impressive? Internationally, $87.8 million. So this film in one weekend has already grossed over $100 million. That's pretty damn impressive. So for the people that thought 300, Rise of an Empire wasn't going to do anything, you were wrong, because it's a massive hit. $87.8 million internationally and $45.1 million in the U.S. domestically. Congratulations to those guys. That is awesome. All right, my friends, that'll do it for our new episode here, Rise of a Podcast. Thank you once again. I just want to really say thanks for all the support ever since I kind of took over these full-time hosting duties. I got to say, I've been looking at the numbers for the show, and the numbers have been going up and up and up, and we've been doing some great numbers in attendance and listeners and downloads over the last several weeks, and I really thank you all for your support, and I thank everybody that's told their friends and told their family members and have spread the word about Am I on the Air. It's definitely a passion project for me, and I love bringing this to you on a weekly basis, so I thank you once again for all the support. Here's where I shout out the affiliates that help make it all go down. Red Dragons Radio, where I stream live from every single Sunday night. You can listen on reddragonsradio.com. Just click on the Am I on the Air tab. Follow on Twitter at Red Dragons Radio so you know what's going down. Excess Radio Network, our friends over at the Excess Radio Network, we are in syndication over there. You can follow on Twitter at Excess Radio. It's XCESS Radio. And Ultimate Sports Talk. Yes, we're not sports talk, but they love entertainment and they love us, so we're glad to be an affiliate with them, and we do stream. Once again, it's just a syndication type deal where they will play our episode throughout the week on their network. It's ultimatesportstalk.com, and you can follow on Twitter at ULT Sports Talk. You can subscribe to us on iTunes. We do have a link that'll take you straight to our iTunes page where I hope you download, rate, and subscribe. You can find that button on amiontheair.com, which is our official webpage. Go ahead and click on the More tab and then click on Affiliates/iTunes. Alrighty? And for us, here's how it all goes down. Like us on Facebook at facebook.com/future. Oh my God, see, I was going to say Future Endeavors. That's my other show that I don't do anymore. Facebook.com/amiontheair. Follow us on Twitter at twitter.com/amiontheair. And of course, me on Twitter, your humble host, DONMEGA. You can follow me on Twitter at twitter.com/DXDONMEGA. Once again, our official webpage is amiontheair.com. That's where you can go. You can listen to the show. You can see the box office. You can see new releases for the week. I used to post all the newest trailers on there. It kind of got sloppy and lazy and stopped doing it, but I'm going to start doing it again, so then you'll be able to have one-stop shop to check out all the newest trailers. You can listen to us on Stitcher Radio. Stitcher Radio is an app you can download on Windows phones, on Android phones, on iOS, Apple phones. A lot of people say, man, I want to listen to the show on the go, but I don't really have a good web browser, or I don't want to listen to it on the web browser, or I don't want to download it on iTunes. I always say Stitcher. Go on Stitcher and download it, and you can listen to us on the go. If you don't want Stitcher, there's another app called Spreaker. We are available on Spreaker as well. So we're all over the interwebs, but Stitcher is definitely the best way to go, because as soon as we post a new episode, we're on Stitcher in about an hour after that. So I say the best way, though, is still amiontheair.com. Why not? Plus, we always post the new episode on YouTube, like I said, and it's also on our Facebook page as well. So you can listen to it all over, and it's even on our Google Plus page. Did you know we had that? But we do. Am I on the Air on Google Plus? You can listen to the new episodes on there as well. So I'll stop rambling about where you can find the show, because it's all over the place. And as long as you bookmark amiontheair.com, that's really all you need to know. So thanks once again for tuning in for this nice little episode of Am I on the Air. This has been March 9th of 2014. AIOTA Rise of a Podcast is in the books. Thanks once again for tuning in. My name is DONMEGA. I will catch you on the next episode of Am I on the Air? Peace.